What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a very special guest, April. If you want to go ahead and introduce what you do on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so I have a DIY fashion channel for women. I do a lot of thrifted transformations. That's my show where I go thrifting for old clothing and I transform it into something new.
Today we are kind of back, well we're not kind of, we are back to reveal what I transformed for my girlfriend. It was a dress. I don't do dresses, but luckily we have April here to kind of guide us through the process. And thank you once again, April, for coming through.
No problem. You did a great job for someone who's never worked on women's clothing, made a dress or anything. So I'm super excited to talk about the process some more with you.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So here's the piece that I decided to transform. Again, I have no background in women's fashion or refashioning women's fashion, so this is something that's completely new and it's gonna be exciting because of the fact that I have no idea. I've watched April's videos before, but that's only watching. Doing is something completely different. So I'll kind of walk you guys through what my thought process is and have a little conversation with April throughout the video, so I hope you guys enjoy. So the first order of business was, of course, to take out the lining. This is going to grant me access to the rest of the dungeon. That sounded really weird, but that's just something that you had to work with, especially with dresses with lining. I was blindsided by this. I was about to be like, yo, I'm just gonna throw this into the sewing machine and knock this thing out, but of course it's just not that easy. So that's primarily what's going on at this time. So on April's channel, if you guys didn't know, she's going to do men's fashion. How did you feel about doing men's fashion for transformation?
You know what? I transformed something for my boyfriend in one of the very first episodes and people loved it, but ever since then I never done a men's transformation
for a while,
ever again. Yeah, so I've been having a lot of people demand that I do more men's transformation, so I'm super excited and happy that we got this opportunity to switch things up. And what I thought about it was that it was actually easier or similar to women's clothing because men and women's clothing are, there's not much that go into men's clothing that doesn't go into women's clothing. Yeah. So I feel like I had it easier on my side.
Yeah, okay. Women's fashion is like a step up and men's fashion is like a couple steps down.
He had zippers and seams and fittings.
I had lining that I don't ever deal with.
Oh my goodness.
So
I totally forgot that you had to deal with that too.
Man, lining was
challenging for someone's first
time, pretty much. I really did not know how lining goes. I know how you can stick it together, but you gotta do it in a specific way. And hallelujah, because this really helped me understand lining. Lining is just something that I still don't understand, but through this dress I understand it a little bit more, how to put everything together. So I'm really grateful for this. Anyways, so moving on, I'm going to be removing and redesigning and refashioning the dress. So what I'm doing is removing the top from the skirt and the pleats from the skirt, and then we're going to be making it into a form-fitting off the shoulder dress. This is something that I was thinking like, oh, this would look really good on my girlfriend, so I really want to try it out. Don't know how to do it, but that's why we transform it.
Did you notice that while you were fitting things and taking things in on her, that I know for all transformations it's difficult because we have to pin things and sew it but not cut anything yet because you don't want to screw up and cut it. And if you do cut it, then you have to find a way to make it work. So I think that's the challenging part for me is trying to imagine it but not being able to cut it yet, make that first cut because you don't want to mess up. So you gotta make sure that this is the design that you want to stick with.
So funny thing is, I did not use that. I wish I
Did you go ahead and cut it?
Okay, so I really just cut it. I was
Yeah,
like, I need to cut it. I really just went for it. I was like measuring it out first.
You really went for it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to use this word ever again after, but YOLO, I was just like, YOLO, boom. And it was weird because in like some parts I was like, oh shoot, wait, do I have no space? Oh my gosh. Because with the box pleat, it was like, there's more fabric after I unraveled it. So I was like, oh man, I have all this extra fabric, no problem. So this is actually like the extra box pleat fabric. This is not the original skirt. I actually like had the original skirt. I have it somewhere in my house, like in the trash.
So that's what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how this design came to be.
Yeah, exactly. Advice that simple could have avoided all the seam ripping that I did and backtracking, but that is the past now, and I'm moving forward, and this project is coming along. What I'm doing right now is cutting out the shoulder piece. This is just done by taking a little strip and then folding the raw edges, and then I also redesigned the front and the back of the top piece, or the corset looking piece, and I'm also redesigning the skirt a little bit. I had to rework it to fit with my girlfriend's figure, so it was a lot of restructuring, a lot of doing all this and all that. And keep in mind, this is in the span of a couple days, so transformations take a long time. I want people to understand this, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
So roughly how long does it take you to do like one dress? Just estimate. You can average it out.
If it's a formal dress for prom or something, it would probably take me 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days.
Yeah. Is that consistently working?
Yes, like all day. It's not like I come home from the store or something and then I get to work. It's I wake up, I get started, and I work all day until midnight, and then I wake up the next morning and I start all day again. Yeah. That's how my cycle went when I did a lot of DIY, especially from scratch. It's literally around the clock. Yeah. You just can't escape it. Yeah. If you see it, you're like, oh man, I gotta finish this. Now we're at my favorite part, which is the lining. So for the lining, it was a horrible experience starting it off because I didn't know what I was doing, but as I messed up a couple times, and I definitely used the seam ripper more than I needed to, because there's times when I did it right and I was like, nah, that doesn't look right, and it ended up being right. It was a fun experience. I think I learned so much from just doing the lining for this dress. I think this will just help me in the future when I want to do lining for like a bomber jacket or anything like that. But I mean, I'm glad that I kind of overcame that. It's not the best of the best lining, but with time I'm just going to, of course, improve. The greatest thing that I took away from this lining part of the project is that my girlfriend was there to kind of give her pointers on what I was doing, and it was kind of cool to have someone else's perspective on, or have someone's take or opinion on what I was doing, because it made me realize, oh wait, that does sound about right. So if you do decide to sew, make sure to, if you can, discuss and conversate, because a lot of the times you're gonna be stuck by yourself and you don't want to be like that. So try to find someone that loves sewing and build that good relationship. Yeah, so throughout this journey, or while you were making the dress for her, was it like a team effort? Were you guys like coming up with ideas together, or was it like you're the designer and I'm gonna like come up with something?
With it was kind of half and half. Sometimes I'll be like, so do you like this design? Does this work? Does this not work? At the end of the day, it was kind of like what worked with putting it on her. So like I would have did a lot more. This is your fate. I did ask for input a lot. Yeah. How did this fit? Was it too tight? Was it too loose? And when it was too loose, this is a better fit. And I think with tailoring and putting things together, like that's like all the questions you usually ask. Did you really work with Eric, or was it more like?
Well, what helped me is I took clothing that fit him already, and then it kind of guided me, like, okay, like I know this is the fit he likes, so I didn't have to like fit too much. But other than that, like once we got to the fitting part and I would fit the sides of him, I would ask him to, you know, like, oh, how low do you want the shirt? Like, are men's shirt usually like below the butt, or is it like at the mid butt, you know?
That's always a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what, like, or maybe like a little longer so it covers the butt. It's like, we'll do that or something,
We'll
you know? Or like
out.
in the front, like how low like does it go in the front too? And the sleeves, like, are they?
How low in the front is it across? Now we are approaching the final steps of the project. What I decided to do was sew on the lining and did a top stitch. From the top stitch, we just kind of added the zipper right after. Now the zipper itself was really difficult to add on. I have no experience with zippers and adding them onto a dress with lining, so that was really fun to even work with. So regardless, I really enjoyed the transformation. It was a journey, it was a process, and I learned a lot from it, and I definitely want to do more in the future. I don't know when necessarily I'll do another one, maybe when I decide to do another collab in the future. Otherwise, I want to take away from this little transformation as growth as a sewer, because that's what we're all trying to do, right? Become better at what we do. And here is my girlfriend modeling the transformation or the transformed dress that I made. Again, it's just featuring the off the shoulder look. I again don't know much about women's fashion or dresses, so feel free to let me know what you guys think about it. Honest opinion. My girlfriend's looking hecka fire, so really shout outs to her for putting up with modeling this for me. But anyways, that's it. Alright guys, so that was the transformation slash little conversation that we had. Thank you, April, for coming out.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming over to my studio space. I know it's getting hot here.
It's
We're
really
both like
hot.
I'm almost about to start sweating.
Okay,
and we're both turning really red.
I'm like really red right now because we're just having so much fun.
Yes.
But hopefully we collab in the future. That was really fun. Like,
let us know down in the comments what
below.
else you guys want to see from us.
If you want to see what April made for her boyfriend, check out her channel, and I'll put a link down below, and also in this area I'll put a little annotation. So I'm gonna actually have April in my video, so however you want to go ahead and do it, it's free reign. You can do whatever you want.
Alright, I normally just go, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!